Okay, let me show the problem. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work it um, like how I work it, and then I'll talk about how the book gets the fraction that you're specifically asking about. This is example 7. Page starts at 287. And they tell us we got f of 3 is equal to -2, and f of 8 is equal to 1. Now, always whatever's inside the parentheses right here is x. So they're telling us that x is 3 there, and here they're telling us y is equal to -2. Over here, they're telling us x is equal to 8, and they're here telling us y is equal to 1. So we got 2 points, basically. So we got 3, -2, and we got 8, 1. Now, our first step in finding an equation on the line is to find the slope. And this is my first point, so I'll label this as x1, y1. This is my second point, so I'll label that as x2, y2. M is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we just plug in what we identified. y2 is 1 minus y1 is -2. It sounds like I said that right. Y2 is 1 minus y1, which is -2. x2, which is 8, minus x1, which is 3. Negative negative becomes positive, so that's 1 plus 2, or 3, and 8 minus 3 is 5. Now, step 2, we want to start with our slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, and we want to plug in one of the given points for x and y. It doesn't matter which one. I'm going to choose 8, 1 since it doesn't have any negatives. So I'll plug this in for x, and I'll plug this in for y. This is a specific instance of x and y that we can use. So I put 1 in for y. M, we just said from step 1 is 3/5 times x, which is 8, plus b. 3/5 times 8 is 3 times 8 is 24, so we got 24/5 plus b. I need to get b by itself, so I take the 24/5, move it to the left side, or subtract 24/5 from both sides. Two ways you could simplify this. This is a mixed number form. You could do it that way, or write them with a common denominator. We can always create a fraction by putting it over 1, like that. Now, to get a common denominator, since this is 1, then our common denominator would be 5. It's always the other one if one of them is 1. So I had to multiply the bottom part by 5. 1 times 5 is 5, and also multiply the top part by 5. Minus 24 over 5 is equal to b. Now, since they have the same denominators, I can subtract top parts. 5 minus 24 is -19/5. And then step 3, we want to write our answer down. We plug in m from step 1, which is 3/5. We plug in b from step 2, which is -19/5. And that would be our answer. Now, I said that this is a mixed number form. 1 minus 24/5 equals b. Notice I put that negative kind of up on top, because if you treat it as a mixed number form, where you got a whole number, integer to the side, and you got a fraction, what you do is you take the number that's to the side, you multiply it times the denominator, and then you add the number on top. 1 times 5 is 5, plus a -24 gives me a -19. So you could also have done it that way. Okay, now to your original question. What you like when somebody spends 5 minutes covering what you didn't ask? Okay, you asked in the book how they went from y plus 2 equals 3/5 x minus 9/5 to the answer. Well, our goal is to get y by itself. So I'm going to take the 2, move it to the right side. You take anything across your equals, your sign changes. That's equivalent to subtracting 2 from both sides. So I got 3/5 x minus 9/5, and the positive 2 becomes a negative 2. Again, two ways you could do this. This is a mixed number form. So I could take the negative 2 times the 5 gives me negative 10, and add negative 9, it gives me negative 19. So that gives me negative 19/5. I'll show getting the common denominator. In order to add or subtract fractions, they both have to be fractions. So I'll put it over 1. Common denominator, one easy way is to multiply two denominators together. 5 times 1 is 5. So we got y is equal to 3/5 x minus, oops, try that again, 5 there, minus 5 here. Now this one already had a 5, so I'll leave it alone. Now here I'll look at my old denominator and ask what did I multiply it by to get my new one. I multiplied by 5, so I have to multiply top part by 5. So I get y is equal to 3/5 x minus 9/5 minus 10/5. Now, since they have the same denominator, I'm going to add or subtract numbers up on top. Negative 9 and negative 10 is negative 19, so I got minus 19/5.